What is going on, everybody? We're back at it with another Spartan arena. Of course, you know the rules. Before we get into the rules, let's get the marking out of the way because that is the worst part of my job. Of course, we are streaming on not one but two different platforms, Facebook and YouTube. My primary is YouTube. If you want to contact me any other way, Facebook is also an option. If you want to donate to the cause, please free the Snapchat is in the bottom. So except that, before my guests come in, let's talk a little bit. How's your day been going? My day was a long fucking day. This week is gonna be long. I'm working on some projects, and those projects are going to be for the show, and they're great. And we got our first person in, ladies in the house. That's up to you. When I want to do is I'm doing it on your schedule. We can work around my schedule, but if I don't know your schedule, how we're supposed to do it? So, hit me. You know what? I'm gonna hook up with you tonight or tomorrow on Messenger, so we can figure that out. Sounds like a deal. So, back to what I was saying. So, how do we? What was it saying? Trying to think what I was saying. So we will, it was a long day, but a long day also means how the hell are you going to keep motivated? So the guests will start coming in one by one. I'm going to finish my thought process in a minute, and I'll start bringing them up. So how do you keep motivated? I have a long day. You're tired. You're beat. Your wife is nanking at you. Your kids are, being a pain in the ass. Or, your wife is just being not there for you or supportive. How do you keep motivated? How your boss is being a dick, or your clients are not being the easiest. How do you keep motivated? So that is the question is. John Wick. You're not gonna drop John Wick. I think it's a good movie. So, and I'm a little surprised, and I'm gonna start bringing the guys in. Me and Paul are actually going to meet for the very, very, very first time this week. And everything goes well. That's the plan. So I get to see the guy first time. So let's get our first guest in here. Waiting for the other one. Don't know where he is, but we're going to find out in a little bit. Let's get the gentleman in here and say hi to him. Hello, you're on air with us, my man.
How are you?
Not bad. Yourself, brother?
Good. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you perfectly fine. Let me get the other guy in, and you'll be up. We're going to have a great conversation. Of course, we are talking about our friend, our specialist, IT guy. What's going on, my man?
Yes. You can see me.
I can barely hear you guys. You guys raise your mic or adjust something.
Which one?
Okay. Just do a test for me really fast.
Hello.
You're good. About you, tech guy.
That guy Sam. My name's Sam. I'm doing good.
Okay.
How are you, Peter?
I'm good. Just put your mic a little closer to your mouth. I should adjust it.
How's that?
That's better. Okay. Sam, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not bad. So I'm getting feedback. We got Steve, right? You have to raise your camera up a little bit.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Yeah. There we go. Good. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Wonderful.
Great.
Delicious. What's going on, Peter?
I'm going to ask Sam first because I know him the oldest because we've been friends for way too many years. Sam, how do you keep motivated?
How do I keep motivated? I don't know. Honestly, I never really thought about it. Challenges keep me motivated. I would guess.
Okay.
Goals. You have to set goals. You have to be realistic in your goals.
Mm-hmm.
And take disappointment, I guess. These are tough questions, man. Oh my gosh.
But these are questions that we need to ask each other. We need to keep ourselves
Yeah.
checked in.
Yeah.
If we don't ask us,
What's your answer there? What do you
I'm
have?
gonna get to my answer. Don't worry. Don't worry. Steve, you're next.
Okay.
What keeps you motivated, brother?
Goals, family, responsibilities. That's what keeps me motivated. Positive attitudes, um, and money to help out my family and friends.
Money does help. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the person who says money makes happiness, but it does make help. What makes me motivated? They're very simple things. It's seeing the people around me happy. You seeing the people healthy. If I'm pushing hard, it's because of them. They motivate me. I have a sick mother at home. And Stevie, I know you don't know me personally. Sam knows my story, and I've grown up in the airport where my mother has, stage 3 colon cancer. So that motivates me to to do better, to get her everything she worked for and she couldn't have. I'm doing that now. Opportunities I'm opening myself. This is an opportunity. This platform is an opportunity. Are you ready to take it by the balls? That's the question.
Absolutely, I agree. I have a mother who's also has onset dementia and had cancer, is a cancer survivor. So she's diminishing. She's 65. So it's kind of the same thing. She's also part of what motivates me. So I agree.
Yeah, and I know Sam has his own motivation. I know if you want to share it, it's up to you, Sam. But it is, you have your own motivation, right, brother?
Me? Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what are some of... Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So my first question is going to be tonight is, what are some of the common sources of motivation for men? Like, how do those across the board? What are they? Sam, I see the gears kicking. You go first. Go ahead, brother.
No. Common motivations?
Yeah.
Is that common, like between men?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Women and money.
Thank you.
That would be a common motivation. Family as well. When you get down to it, but mostly women and money is a common motivation. That's your motivation when you're younger, at least. And when you get older, you realize its importance.
See, when I was younger, and you know me for years again, like I said, and when I was younger, I didn't care as much about money because money would come and go. I knew that very young. But one thing I did care about is chasing that sweet ass. Oh, see that girl over there? Oh, I'm going after her. See that one? Oh, now I got my attention got changed. Like my targets were different back then. Now as a man, I care about more, the money. Get a nice house. How can I invest in myself and all this stuff? Steve, what about yourself?
Same. Women were definitely a motivation when I was younger, in my 20s and maybe my early 30s, and then after that, it changes. It's investments is a motivation, taking care of your family. So it definitely differs as you get older. Mm-hmm. The women don't. I really don't like. I care, but it's not really a motivation for me to better myself anymore.
Yeah, that stops being a motivation. Other things count more. Women become secondary because you know what? They're just they're there anyway. So you can always have them. They're all there.
But that's where I'm gonna push back a little bit, Sam, because yes, you have a woman, but then you have the woman that's gonna be in your life all the time, or the woman who's gonna be there temporarily. There's always that one woman that said, "Damn, I wish I did some difference back then." Before we go, I want to bring our next guest in.
If you're older now, maybe you can.
Yeah.
You can marry him if you choose.
Yep. So hang on one second, Sam. I want to bring Chef in really fast. And, I want to welcome to the panel Chef Payne, my man, and is troublemaker. He likes his sizzling pussies, like he says.
No.
That was way back when.
What do you mean back when? It was a couple months ago you said that in the air.
Yeah. And you guys never let me forget that shit either.
Yeah, you're never gonna leave that down. I'm like, you're known as Chef Payne now, not Mr. Payne, not Payne. You're Chef Payne for that comment. Can we all agree on that, at least?
Yeah. Good evening, everybody.
What's going on, brother? How are you tonight?
Go ahead, man. I heard the conversation, man. Go ahead. I mean, what you got?
So you're the oldest one of the group, like always. What keeps you motivated? That's the first question I got for you. Then I'll ask you the second question like I asked everybody else.
Family,
Family.
family. If you have kids, right? I don't think you have any kids. You don't have any kids yet, right? Do you?
Me, I don't. Not yet.
Grooming?
Soon.
Yeah, that's. Do you, gentlemen? Y'all have kids?
Yes, I do.
I don't.
So
That's
you
my
know,
biggest motivator.
yeah. So one of the motivations is like I look at my children. They're grown now, but all kids are like a book with chapters in it, and you want to stay alive as long as you can. See as many of those chapters get written. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's one of the things that motivates me. I mean, my youngest is 24, my oldest is 31. And they're doing pretty well. Yeah, I want to. They're girls. Well, they're ladies. I want them to be married. But shit, man, I can't make that happen. I wish I would have had guys to arrange marriages with them, but I didn't do that. So, but they're successful. So I look at them as among other things, I look at their lives and their journeys as something I'd like to witness. It kind of keeps you motivated. So how much of it is, what kind of changes they're going through, what kind of successes they have. If they get married, walking them down the aisle, all that kind of shit, man. Those are motivative things. I'm still, my wife's still alive, and we still got a lot to do. So those are the kind of things that motivate you. If you're in a family situation. Among other things, I retired from my job like in 2020, and the other motivation is staying alive is long enough to keep getting those goddamn checks. So I work for those damn things. So if I could get as many checks as I had when I had to work for them, I'd be happy. There ain't nothing like residual income. So there's a lot of things that keep you motivated. Plus, I got shit to do. I mean. I'm on YouTube like you are. I keep my family tree from on my paternal side from the and I'm not going to be too much longer with this from the greatest generation, my grandfather and grandmother. From those two back in the early 1900s till now, so many of us are still alive. I have like 100% accuracy on it. 7 generations, almost 300 people from 2 people. So that keeps me motivated looking at that, both vertically and horizontally across the board, so it's it's a lot of different things, and it's just, I got my kids set up portfolios, financial and stuff like that. So they wouldn't be like me, didn't learn how to save money and invest it until I was almost 40.
Yeah.
If I can save them 20 years, if I can give them a 20-year head start, I've done that job, that kind of shit. So yeah, I can keep going, man. So that's it.
So the second question I asked the gentleman on was, what is our? Let me bring my questionnaire back up because I don't want to screw this up because there's a lot of questions. I'm getting old like you, Pain. What are some of the common causes of motivation across the board from anything from between men? What would you think that? Pain, you still alive?
Go ahead.
I'm asking you, Pain.
Oh, say that again, man.
So, what are some of the common sources of motivation between men, in your opinion?
From men to men, I think camaraderie. I'm a member of frat. Man, you just can hang out with frat all the time. Sit down, talk about men shit, that kind of stuff. Who's? Wait, hold on for a second. I think that's my. Let me put this on mute. Wait a minute. I said, where the hell is that music coming from? I thought you had some music going in the background. Just like I said, just listen. Anytime you're alive, without the chalk around your body, it's a good day. That's the way it is.
Yeah, and listen, we all know one thing is guaranteed: we're on borrowed time. They got whoever you believe in, God in my case. I believe in Jesus. I know Sam believes in the same thing. I know Payne, Steve. I don't know what you believe in personally. But
Same, Jesus.
okay, we're believing in God. We can all agree. He, when He called us to heaven, He's gonna call us. We don't like. Hey, hang on. Can you come back in like a couple of years when I'm done with doing this project, or I'm done, building my new PC or my new model? Come back in a week. It's a little time for me. It's a little too early for me. It doesn't work like that. So we have to make it the best as possible. So, and I've been seeing across the board, and I know I'm gonna get heat for this one, but one thing I've been seeing is men's mental health has gone straight down.
Yeah.
COVID was part of it. And if you're single like myself, and Steve, are you married?
No.
Yeah. So the dating game bad out there pretty well too. And it fucking sucks. And
It definitely sucks, especially with all these websites to hook up and talk, and it's just ridiculous.
I give you
It's not a
my
way to meet
favorite one.
somebody back in the day. I'm 45, so my name's Steve. 45, so I've had plenty of relationships, and the biggest like motivator between men is to talk to each other, but also I don't want to say against women, but a lot of the women are ridiculous, treating
Right
men
on
and
that.
trying to put them down. And it's not, it's the women used to be living at home, staying at home, men work, and now it's both of you working, and now it's not even our money, it's their money, and your money is their money also. So that's why I'm single, so I'm not married, and that's why I have no kids.
Well, that's a good thing.
Well,
I
No,
know.
I'm saying it's a good thing that you don't have no baby mamas, man. I mean, having kids is great, but the fact that you don't have any kids out of wedlock is a good thing.
No, absolutely not. I put on the condom. I'm a big proponent on it. So, I mean, if I was ever ready to, I want kids, but with this day and age, bringing a kid into the world, it's not for me for right now.
Well, this hope. I was 41 when I had my youngest daughter. So
really,
yeah, I was 41. Yeah,
I expected you to be a lot younger because I know you're the boomer age, right? Payne.
yeah. My daughter's a Gen Zer, man. My youngest.
Because I thought you guys, that generation got kids were very young, like as early as possible. Or you guys were popping them out.
I mean, that wasn't. I mean, I don't think that was a plan, but so me and the wife, we had 2 kids. It took us 10 years to have them, so we went through a couple of things together. So, do that.
Okay. So, okay, we at least okay two out of three you guys agree. One is money and women. The other one is commodity. You think. So why do you think it's different so much?
Society.
There you go. Sam, what do you think?
What was the question? Why do you think what?
Why do you think every man has their own way to think? Across the board, motivation is different.
I don't think it's different. I think for the most part it's the same. What's different are the details. I think every man is motivated by camaraderie, good friends, everything he mentioned, family. I think that's across the board. And then you've got your little things. Some men are motivated by health, other men are motivated by women, but overall, it's still the same. Those top layers are still there. That's
I
that's
agree.
the foundation
I
of
agree.
motivation.
I mean, if we were all married with kids, it would be a lot closer.
Right. Yeah.
That's true. So let me ask you guys this question, and this is a big one. My personal, do you think society has an influence of goals set for yourself?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait. Say it again. Society.
Do you think society has a factor, in other words, that how you're gonna you set your goals?
Yeah, but what do you mean? Like how I'm going to be influenced by my society, or how my society is going to treat me?
Both.
What do you mean?
Answer
Both.
both of them then.
Okay, I don't think it makes any difference, man. I really don't.
Please,
Society.
the floor is yours, Sam. We're here to
Well, I'm
have
just saying, society
conversation.
doesn't matter. What matters is what you want to do and your goals. If you want to work, then you work. You're an employee, or you can have your own business. But either which way you're working, that's what you want to do. I mean, no, society can't tell you not to work or take something away from you. If they did that, I don't know, there would be problems. So no, society can't really do that. Society doesn't set your bounds. You set your bounds. Now, if you're younger and society tells you that you can't do it, does that affect you? Yeah, it can. But then again, you hear so many stories of other kids growing up being run through that, being told that they can't do it, and then now we see them on TV, and they're very wealthy. So overall, society, no. I think it's what's in your head that counts. That's it.
You know,
I mean, I disagree a little bit only because society puts out there. It used to be religion. It used to be family, and now society is trying to break up that family. Now society is trying to break up
I see.
the individual people and their kids away from them. And girls are told to be one way, men are told to be another way. Religion is I mean, not it's not laughable to me, but in society it's laughable. Um, and just the way we treat each other is also laughable, and just the way teachers talk to students and whatnot. And I mean, you could just go on with the way society tries to shape and make these kids more dumb. To be honest with you, more dumb.
Yeah, but let me just say this. I agree with that. But if the kid generally has a good set of parents or a good parent that can, walk this child through this, the child's not going to fall for it. So
Sure.
that's where I think it counts, in the family.
yeah. But see, listen. There's no wrong answer with this. I think that all of
Yeah, I
us
see
are
what you're saying. Yeah.
subject to. I think all of us are subject to social engineering, and it impacts people differently. And I agree. If you have a family intact, you have at least some buffer against what's being said out there. But you got also some families, their kids are like the babysitters. They're with teachers and they're with all those people in those the liberal think tanks at school a lot longer than they might be with you. So if you're not paying attention to what your kids are saying and all that kind of stuff,
Exactly. If you're not paying attention.
they get some of that residual stuff on them. So, but it impacts people differently. Some people succumb to that more than others, but we're all under social engineering. So the gentleman up at the top, when he talked about the breaking families, it's a lot of commercialism has to do with it because there's money in it for somebody for us being separate households, women unfettered, spending, their spending is kind of set down. If they're in a relationship, they don't spend that way because they have a man putting some governors on some of the shit that they do. But when they're alone, going to school and in debt, and the most people in debt are females going to college for, basket weaving degrees when they owe $100,000-$200,000 getting out of college and shit like that. Nobody's telling them that's stupid, you know. So I mean, the world is crazy. I mean, a lot of the stuff that there's gonna be a reckoning coming up. There's a referendum somehow coming up. I mean, our birth rates are down. All kinds of stuff is going on out here. And it's across the board. A lot of people think in the black community, everybody thinks a lot of stuff is black centric. But when the gentleman up at the top just said what he said, it's just like universal stuff across the board. It's across the board. It's all men, no matter what your ethnic background is, we're all going through something similar. All of us. If you're a single man, no matter what ethnic group you are, you're going through with women in the West. There's a common theme across the board. So
Yeah.
Tell them what that theme is. Tell them what that theme is.
Go ahead.
Hey, listen, man, I've been out of the game for a long time. And the only thing that's why I said when I first came up here, I didn't say this to you. I was on another panel. I said, I'm not allowed to talk on these things since I've been married so long. So people told me you're not in the game, so you don't know shit. So I'm very reluctant to say anything about this stuff, even
Yeah.
though I see it happening around me. I can't change them because people, some people don't want to know, right? Let me tell you, I'm gonna be quick. I'm gonna land in on this one, Groom, and then gentlemen, I'm gonna land on this. I don't believe women have changed, and I don't believe men have changed. The only thing I think is different is the tools that we use and abuse. That's it. And if you can cut underneath all the bullshit, you could find a mate from a woman. The negotiation is different. In the 87, my negotiation or my vetting process with my wife is different than a you would have to vet with a woman in 2020 something. That's only because she's working 50 hours a week just like you are. So all those traditionalism things have to be negotiated, right? You can't have your honey out there working 50 hours and expect her to be, the maid at home too. You gotta say, okay, we're gonna have to work that shit out together. And a lot of guys don't think that. So the only thing she's gonna take the most thing if you have young children, she's got the tits. So she's gotta be with the kid longer than you until a certain age. But cleaning up the house, you do the garbage, she does the dishes. You keep, I mean, that kind of shit. Men can't sit home and think that you could just be the king of the walk when you have your wife out there toiling for 50 hours a week, just like you. And a lot of men need to get that shit in their head. That traditionalism is over, so you got to negotiate with those chicks. And that's it. And then everything else is, you got to make sure you vet her properly before you marry her. And that's it. But we got to change the way we think. Women are practical. Men fall in love.
I disagree with that. I just women are practical, men
Me
fall in
too.
love. Yeah, I've never seen a woman buy a practical dress.
No.
I've never
Practical
seen
in terms of the
women buy.
relationship.
Men buy tools. Tools are
No.
practical.
I said it wrong.
Relationships? No. Women abuse relationships. They abuse men. They abuse money. Women now are dysfunctional. They are alcoholics. Addicts. They have
Yep.
morals. Okay, morals are gone. I think you're completely wrong, man. Look, I'm only 40. I'm sorry, 22. No, I'm just joking. I'm only 40. 48. Yeah, last time I said 38. I'm
78.
only
I
48.
said, fuck you, 78.
78. So I'm only 38. 48. But
You married though?
no. Recently separated, completely done.
Okay.
Just
So
never
I see
married.
your point.
I have a daughter.
I see where
No.
you're coming from.
But no, and it's not just that one. It's most American women are dysfunctional, and that's because they came from dysfunctional families. They came families who grew up
I
with
agree with
alcoholism, with drug abuse, with
broken families, no father in the house. I understand.
broken families, no fathers in the house. Right. But and essentially overall a culture of dysfunction, and then they grow up and they have trust issues and they don't know how to have a relationship. So no, women today, for the most part, are dysfunctional. I didn't date many American women. I did date many Hispanic, Greek, women from other countries, Argentinian. Those to me were quality women. American women do not know how to have a family or sacrifice themselves for the family.
I don't
All right,
disagree with
Payne,
you.
before you move on,
But
I
when
have
say-
to
I
bring the
don't
next person
disagree.
in, and I have to play
But
his music
I
in.
have some other
And of
comments.
course, we have
Go
to
ahead.
salute
Go ahead, Glenn.
our president. There he is.
Is it Trump? Trump, it's you.
What's up, man?
So I let you know right now, Paul. I am working on a whole video for you.
Killed him
I'm gonna
on
send it to BMU and all the other guys, so we're gonna play every time you
sure
coming
you
on.
are.
And at the end, it go, I approve this message.
I'm sure you are.
So, Paul, how are you tonight, my brother?
What's going on, Paul? What's up?
He's
I guess
freezing
he's
up for some
freezing.
reason.
Man,
Not
what
sure if
happened
I'm
to
not-
him?
I'm freezing up.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
why.
Grumman. Floor is yours, Grumman.
Yeah, you're frozen completely now. You want to try going and come back in? Yeah, he's out. Okay. So Sam has a very good point what he's saying there. He pretty much just explained all my ex-girlfriends the last several years.
Yeah, but I don't disagree with what my man said. What's your name down there again? I forgot.
Sam.
Sam.
Yes.
Okay, Sam. How you doing, Sam? I'm Rich.
Rich.
And you at the top. You're
Steve.
Steve. Sam and Steve. Okay, I got it. Now listen. Yeah, what I'm saying is, after you go through your 100 chicks and you find one that you want to actually have a relationship with, I'm saying then you still need to negotiate. I mean, I'm not at this zero. Like I said, I'm married, so I'm not out there. That's why I said I was reluctant to say anything. I can only go by the fact that I don't think my daughters are like that. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm too close to them, but they're very respectful young ladies. So I think there's hope out there for guys if you look in the right spots. But you're gonna have to go through a lot of numbers to find the ones you want. Yeah. And you got to have a criteria that you're going to stick by. And so everything else you said, I don't disagree with. I know it's tough.
Yeah, and
I might have had to go through like 5 or 6 different women to find my wife. You guys might have to go through like 100. You know,
it's tough. Thousands. I mean, you should. Never ending. You don't understand how tough it is.
Super tough. Super tough.
Man. That's why I try to see. I started by saying I want to buy my business. I just throw that out there, you know.
So
a lot of the women raised now obviously want their families are raising them to have a man with a job and have a man with money, basically money, and it's just I mean, it's the right approach. You want obviously a man to be successful and take care of your daughters and everything like that, but it's got to start somewhere. If you're both not making enough money and one is saving and the other one's just spend, and there's nothing to do about it. I mean, I don't really think it matters because I don't see a lot of hope only because a lot of the women are not like traditional women back in the day.
That's true, but I don't know.
I mean, like I said, you got these dating sites which shows, some of them show how much you make, some of them show what your activities are, what you like, what this, what that, you're a family man. But a lot of it is all lies, you know, like you meet the girl and then she's totally, you know, I want to meet a girl, I don't want to hook up with her in the first date, and out of 20 girls, 19, 18 want to say that they don't want to hook up with you and then wind up trying to hook up with you in the first date.
Yeah. So before we move on, I want to agree with that. Yes. Every time I hear a conversation from girls, I'm not here to hook up. I'm not here to, you know, have a one-night stand. That's what usually happens when they say that in any of the prescriptions. So before I lose him again, Paul, how are we doing tonight, my man?
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Again, once again, good evening. Yeah, I'm doing well. I said, for a little bit tonight. I can't be out, I think, for the whole show, but I'm just trying to catch up on with the conversation.
All right, so essentially, I think that...
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay.
All right, so trying to do a quick recap.
No, it's good to meet you, gentlemen. I don't think I've met you guys before, but again,
I'm Sam.
They call me Mr. Bennett in these places, a.k.a. the reason why the music was playing.
I don't think it's working for him. I can't hear Mr. Bennett.
I can't hear him either.
Oh, I hear him.
Oh, Peter, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So,
what the hell?
Okay. So.
Yeah, so I mean, we've had this problem before.
All right, let me try reload this again one more time. See if that works on my end. Give me 1 second. All right, Paul, try to talk right now.
Hello.
I can hear you. Anybody else can hear him? Yep.
I can hear him.
Pain?
I can't.
Pain, can you hear me?
I'm the only one who can't hear him now.
No, it's our
I
Pain.
can't hear me either.
No, that's weird.
So now 2 people can hear me? Okay.
I don't know why he's doing that. That's not on me at all, actually. That's on your side for some reason, guys.
Let me ask you something, though, Groomin. When you come in, right, you got those 2 boxes, one with the screen and the other one with the video. Which one do you supposed to check on this? Because I'm used to StreamYard.
So this is a little different process. So I send you a link, and I just control everything on a second screen. So I go back to it mirrors whatever you see on this screen. So this one over here mirrors on this one. This is all the programming I have. If I literally take a picture,
But
show
which
you.
one should I select when it gives you a choice, Josh? The one on the screen or the one that says video? There's like two things that pop up. I always pick the video one.
That would be Sam's question. Sam, you know more about this. Which one would he select?
No. He's asking you normally. I mean, I picked the join room with camera.
Okay. Yeah, see. Okay.
All right.
Maybe that's what I need to do. Well, I think I do the camera. Then there's one with the screen, right? There's one with the camera. Then there's one with the screen. Join room with the screen. So I get the choice. I think I always pick the camera.
Okay.
All right.
But that's the same thing I've done, and it works. But if you want to try it again. Maybe it'll reset it.
Well, I hear you. The only person I know here is Mr. Bennett, though. So
yeah,
I guess you know.
Yeah,
but if everybody else can hear him, I can try.
Can you hear him now?
Yeah, I can hear him. If you
I understand that. How about you two, Steve?
No, I can't. I can't hear him.
Okay. No, Mr. Bennett, did you hear? Okay, you did.
Let me try this one more time.
That's weird. I don't know what would it be.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Guys, did you hear that?
No.
Negative.
Video source, output destination. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
I hear you, Steve. You hear?
No, I don't. No, I hear you. I hear you. I hear.
Let me go out and go back.
And I don't hear.
Okay. Let me get off and come back in.
Mr. Bennett can hear you.
That is weird. I'll be honest with you guys because I never had that issue. No, only 2 out of 4 can hear him. That's a little odd.
Since we have a technical issue, you mind if I get a glass of water, sir?
Yeah, go for it.
Steve, can you hear him? Mr. Bennett?
Yeah. You guys hear me?
I can hear him now.
Okay. Mr. Bennett, Steve hears you. Yes.
All right.
Okay. What happened to
I'll
RP?
be back in 1
RP was trying to reset his his settings, but I think he's coming back.
Let me put him back in. There you go. Payne, can you hear everybody now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me now, RP?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead, Paul. Sam, you can run and go to the little girls' room really fast.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, go Twinkle. Go ahead, Paul. Paul, you're up.
All right. What's the subject? I'm literally coming in.
Okay. I'm talking about today about men motivation for men and across the board. How do men keep motivated? So the statement we're I don't want to say arguing but disagreeing a little bit is, Sam mentioned that women have one goal in their mind is money, and it's our responsibility to find a good one, and you let them flunk around all this stuff, and it's hard to find a good woman out these days. Me and Steve are agreeing on that one because it's nasty out there with dating sites now. It has made everything nasty. That's where we left off before you came in.
But what does that have to do with one subject has to do with the other? If you talk about how does a man stay motivated to do what?
In general, like make money, go to the gym. That's
okay. So that has nothing. Well, again, part of that then woman might be an objective, but that can't be the subject. If you talk about what motivates the man, it has to be from within. What do you value? What is your purpose in life? Where are you trying to where are you trying to go? How are you trying to grow as a person? What are your goals and objectives? Again, the woman or marriage or family, that can be a part of that. But if you're living your life for that objective, just like any other goal in life, you could be disappointed. So you better have a greater sense of purpose in terms of who you are as a person. Forget everybody else. If you were going to be on an island by yourself, what purpose do you have for living? So again, I mean, to tie your worth to a career or a job or a title or a woman or, an association, an organization, a church, whatever it is, if that's all your identity is, then really the problem starts with you. What is your motivation to get up every morning? So it's got to start there. So before we even start talking about women, what are you, what are you doing with your life? Again, why do you get up in the morning, as I just said? So I think that's a conversation in and of itself. And for me, my motivation came primarily, this is kind of like my second life, because I was back in '93. I was in a major auto accident where a 16-year-old stole a car from Newark Airport and hit me head on. And that 16-year-old kid died in the accident. And I was, pretty broken up for a while. I had to certainly recover and heal, but I didn't have a whole lot of purpose. I was just out of school. I was working. I thought I was doing things, in pursuit of happiness. But the first thing I had to really deal with was my spiritual self and who I was. And, that sort of started my pursuit, finding a relationship with God, the way I define it. I'm not here trying to preach to anybody, but I had to kind of get that sort of squared away in terms of my soul. And then, the process of building me up as a person. I got to look at myself in the mirror and be like, okay, what are the things that I wanted? So I did decide that, yes, I wanted to be married. I wanted to have a wife. I wanted to have a family and some structure in my life, because I grew up in a life that had no structure to it. My family was broken up since I was born. I was born in 1969, and my parents separated shortly thereafter, and it was basically a nomadic lifestyle all the way up through my teen years. And so as I got older, as I got to school, I got to college, I graduated college, and I started progressing in life. Things started to get better for me. But, the major turning point was definitely when I got my spiritual life in order and started living for something other than just my own base needs. But I recognized I still had needs. So that's why I went after them. I knew I needed sex. So that's why I got a wife. So that was my motive for getting married, was I wanted sex, and, I wasn't going to have, I wasn't going to be out there just slinging it. And so look, I need a wife. So that was just an objective on the road. And then being married, being a husband, being those responsibilities, that help also to shape, again, what my purpose in life is. Now I am a husband. Now I'm a father. So those responsibilities, kind of got crystallized. That certainly gave me a reason to get up in the morning. But then even as I got older, and as I told you on the other show, Grooming, it wasn't really until I got into my 40s when I really started to appreciate who I was as a person, and started, paying more attention to my physical health. I got really serious about the gym and putting on weight. Again, I've gained about 80 pounds in weight since I started, seriously weight training. So working on myself, working on my, my whole sense of value, to the point now where it's like, look, I don't look at myself as an arrogant person, but I don't need someone to compliment me to let me know that I look good. Or if I put something on, it's like, hey, you look great. It's like, I'll say thank you, but I'm not doing it for your validation. So I think as a man, you have to do the steps that define who you are and what you want to be, and the things that you do in order, surround yourself with the things that help you to get there. So I think that's really, what a person needs. And when a person doesn't have anything doesn't have that, then that's when you have, I think, a lot of the problems. Why is it that athletes, you see, a guy, major player, in shape, doing all the things, but once they retire or once they can't play the game anymore, why is it that they gain 50 pounds afterwards? And, because again, you lost the drive to get up in the morning. When people retire, you put so much of your life into your career, but now you don't, what are you going to do now? I mean, our pain, I salute you, because you were, certainly gainfully employed for a lot of years, but you've certainly found a new purpose in this second half of your life. I'm just as excited for you and what you're doing now than what you ever would have did in the 30-some years you were working for, with the, with the government and everything. So I think, you have to have that as a man. And if the minute you lose that, then it can get real dark for you. And so that's something that, I think every man has to flesh out on their own. I can't make that decision for you, what motivates you, but, you have to ask yourself that. And I've seen it with kids, some kids get it early, some kids get it late. And I've got friends of mine had teenage sons, and they were just like, they did everything, put the kid in reform school, military school, private school, just all sort of things. The kid really didn't find out who he was or what he wanted to do until he joined. He just one day he said, I'm joining the Marines. And when he joined the Marines, that's when he really all the stuff, all the headaches that he gave his parents, you would think the Marines would be the last thing for him. It was the best thing for him. And he really did a 180 in terms of how he conducted his life. Now, I'm not saying the Marines aren't for everybody or the military is for everybody, but he had to find that. So again, some kids find it early, some know from young age what they want to do. Some people, it takes them a while to figure out. But until you get there, that's the walk that every man and woman, quite frankly, has to take.
Everybody has to take that walk. Sooner or later. You're going to have to walk that way then, now, when. It's up to you. When your mentality is ready to take that walk, you're going to know it. To then, you keep pushing to find that. So let's get to the next question, actually. As Samantha's twinkling right now. So, let me see where I left off. Okay, how do you, with your motivation roles, like goals, like challenges, setbacks, how does it affect you mentally on an everyday basis? Let's go first.
State the question one more time, please.
So setbacks, they're going to happen. How is that going to affect you mentally? Like you had a goal. Let's say you wanted, I use Payne for example. He wanted to grow his beard to 12 inches, but he didn't meet that goal. I know I use this as an example. Or buy a new house, but you were short, it didn't work out. You have to save a little money. Whatever the goal is, mentally, how setbacks, how that's going to affect you. To keep yourself motivated.
Well, just real quick. It depends on the magnitude of what the setback is, of course. That's the first thing you talk about. But, I'm just, the fact that I'm even thinking about what I really consider a real big setback along the way is that I've just been blessed that I haven't had many that has the real whatever plan I have for my family. I've had some hiccups. And I think that, maybe I could just say this. As a man and with a family and stuff, the things that you go through, you might not even think about them as setbacks. You just understand. If you understand how life is, you just keep moving. And everything is not going to be smooth. So that's why I'm saying it depends on what you mean by setback, right? If there's some doors that are closed, some guys will be stopped at the front of the door. Some other people say, well, there's got to be some other door somewhere for me to open. And, so it's what your default value is. As far as I was concerned, I'm thinking there's always an alternative, whether my original plan works or not. If I need to get somewhere, I'm trying to find a way to get there. And that's just been the way it's always been. Now, did I have some dreams I didn't attain? I don't know. I really don't know. You know why I say that? Because sometimes I think I didn't dream big enough. Because I look at my house, my family, the money I have in the bank, the money I'm investing. I said, if I could have did this, I probably could have done twice as, I probably could have done much better. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I just think it's all a blessing, man. That's the way I look at it. I really have very little to complain about, and that's why it's hard for me to think of these things because I have very little to complain about. And the worst thing I did was lose my health. And then I've been on a quest to get that back. Like I said, since the last maybe 18, 16 months, I lost around 100 pounds.
Nice.
So that's the thing. When I was working, that's what the one thing I let go. You're supposed to have this balance, but I was traveling so much and, I ripped my Achilles tendon because I used to play ball all the time. And I just use it as an excuse not to go back to do all the things I used to do, So that's what happened.
This is the perfect time for you to do things because, you don't have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning to go to work.
Well, yeah, when my daughter moved out, I turned her room into a gym. So I got all the equipment in there. And it wasn't like I had to buy a lot of new stuff. I had to just move the stuff from all over the house into the one room. So I got all the equipment. I even got an old Solo Flex with all its parts.
Solo, oh man.
I got a vintage Solo Flex with all its parts. Nice. Yeah, so so I don't have no excuses, man. So it's right. My office is here. The gym is right next door. I don't have to go outside. I can't say, I don't want to go out in the cold. I don't have no excuse. It's got a treadmill in there, everything. What you call a recumbent bike, all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice. So it's all nice.
Nice. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah.
I think setbacks actually sometimes will help you motivate yourself. Some setbacks, I mean, like he said, it's a degree. To what degree is a setback? I have a mother with onset Parkinson's and onset dementia. I mean, it's a setback, but it also motivates me to get another job, make sure my ass is at work, make sure I'm working, make sure I'm saving money, make sure she's happy, make sure there's someone there to be there with her. I don't have any brothers and sisters, so I guess, like he said, it depends on the setback, but sometimes setbacks is what motivates somebody to do better.
Yeah, that is a good one. Paul, you're up. What do you think?
A lot of it, I think, really depends on your expectations. I was a big goal guy for a lot of years. Annual goals, weekly goals, daily goals. That was just a part of my life. And I guess the more I've gone on, I don't find them necessarily as valuable in that the goal being the end all. This is what I was saying earlier, as far as you have to have a reason to get up in the morning. And once you lose that, then a lot of things get lost. But really, what is your expectation for the goal that you're setting? Is it to meet it? Because if you do, you may find yourself disappointed. But really, for me, it's about the process within the goal more so than the goal itself. There's very few goals that I met, because a goal, they define a goal as a dream with a time limit on it. There's very few goals that I've ever met, meaning I set a timeline on it. But it wasn't so much about meeting the goal. It was about who I became through the process of the goal. So again, when I put that 80 pounds on, I didn't intend to do that. I said, I started working out. I was 158 pounds. And then my goal was to get to 170 pounds. But then once I got to 170, then it's like anything else. It's like winning a championship. Winning is very short-lived in anything. So what's the goal then? So it's got to be to go another one. So I said, okay, I got to 170. Okay, let me get to 175. And then let me get to 180, 185. And I thought I would find contentment at the end of that goal. And then I started to realize it's not about the goal. It's about the process. It's the progression. It's the work. It's the grinding. It's what you become through it. It's the maturity. I had to take care of both parents at one point. My dad died back in 2018, but I became the man. I'm the youngest in my family. My brother is 6.5 years older than me, and there's 5 of us. And at that point in time, through circumstances and everything else, I basically became the tribal leader in my family. And I had to literally make life and death decisions for my mom and my dad. Mom's still here, and she's battling right now. That wasn't a goal. That wasn't a something I planned, but I grew as a man through that process.
Absolutely.
The refining that a man goes through when you have to make decisions, when you have to make choices that you want to do something in your instinct, but the right thing to do is something else. The maturity that takes place in the process. So I've learned basically overall to fall in love with that, to fall in love with the process of growth. Forget the goal saying, okay, in 5 years, I'm going to be here. I just fell in love with the process. I may get, this job I just got, I had a goal. I had a salary goal in mind. And I, went through the process. I didn't reach it, but I got pretty close to it. And I wasn't kicking myself saying, oh, I didn't meet the goal or whatever. It's like, no, the processes that I did, the training, the other things that I had to do in order to, again, be better than what I was. So really, that's how I live my life now. I want to be better than I was yesterday. I want to be better than I was last year. Put myself in situations that are going to challenge me in certain ways, to learn new skills, to learn new things. My last job I had, the last 3 years, was chaotic, to say the least, where everybody was like taking on jobs that nobody did before because they was laying off people left, right, and center and all that. So it was like, guess what? Well, you're one of the few guys left, so look, you got to learn this. Oh, it's not my job. I don't care. You got to learn this. But I became better at working in a chaotic situation. I became better with overcoming adversity. I became more solution-oriented. I became more flexible, more adaptable to the situations that I was in.
That's what I was going to say, adaptable. Yeah, sorry to cut you off. That's what I was going to say, adaptable.
And so that led to where I'm at now. So again, it's all about, for me, it's all about the process. I train like I'm trying to win the Olympia, but I'm not trying to get on the stage anytime soon. You're not going to see me up there in banana hammocks there. It's but the goal. But again, I train hard. I train. It's like, well, I don't have anything I'm not competing for anything. I'm not getting into a powerlifting meet. I'm not getting onto a bodybuilding stage, but very few people are going to outwork me, in the gym. But I do it because I fell in love again with the process. And ultimately, at the end of the day, what it does for me, I'm tired, I'm sore, all that stuff afterwards, but the growth that happens later, I'm a stronger version of myself than I was the week before. And so that's, so for me, that's the thing that kind of gets me going every day. I fell in love with the process, and that process oftentimes is going to include failure. And I got to embrace that. And what have I learned from that? So if I fail something, then for me, that's just experience for the next time. Mm-hmm. So it's very few times I take an L. The only time I take an L is if I don't try something, or if I just shy away from something and not embrace something head on. So,
see, I agree and disagree a little bit. Explain why.
Mm-hmm.
I agree you need to set a goal every day. I do. Get up, make your bed. That's your first task of the day. Then my second task is walk the dog. Complete. Second task, or third, or whatever I'm at, make breakfast. And so on. I have my tasks. But if I don't make my bed, the first one, my task is going to complete. I'm missing something. I'm out of routine. If you want to call it routine. But also, if I don't reach a goal, let's say I want to lose my gut, for example, by summertime, all right? Doesn't mean I failed. I mean, I just learned a different way to do other things. It's something so my old saying was, and I said this 100 times, from some of you haven't heard it, I might fall. I know I will. As I'm going down the mountain, I'm falling backwards. Not, but I'm not going to fall backwards. I'm going to fall forward on purpose. Why? I want to see how I fucked up. So when I get back up the mountain, I don't make the same mistake twice. We have to keep that in mind. Falling is not a failure. It's learning experience. And that's what most men think. Man, I failed. That's it. I quit. I'm done. I'm like, whoa, dude. Get back in here. We can, let's make you better. You don't need to, because you fail doesn't mean you're a loser. It just means you just have to find a different way. It's simple. Most of you guys know. And
I
Steve,
agree.
you don't know.
I don't think we have much. I don't think we have much disagreement. The only thing I would say is, again, the task that you mentioned tasks, but like I defined, goals is usually like, again, a dream or vision with a date set on. So again, the tasks that you get up every morning with, I wouldn't necessarily classify those as goals. You know what I'm saying? But I would certainly agree that they are tasks. And again, they're things that need to get done. But if you had your weight or body body composition, I would consider that more so a goal. Okay, so you want to lose your gut by the summer or lose a certain amount of weight, like our pain did or something like that. That I would tie more to a goal. But even then, my only thing was I wouldn't be so set on the end of the goal. You know, I'm as happy as I am to hear that our pain lost 100 pounds. I'm more excited, or I'm going to be more inquisitive about, again, what did he do to get to this point? And I don't think he would even say that he's even reached where he needs to be, but what has he been doing? I'm seeing like he's sipping. I know he's drinking a lot of fluids. I see every show he drinks a lot of water, so I'm sure that helps. So again, I like to hear about what people are doing, like I said, on the daily basis. He's got the gym in the house. He's got, what is your routine? What do you do? And just be consistent about what you're doing, and then let those play out the way they're going to play out later on. But if he's put into his mind, okay, I gotta lose 100. Well, Arpan, I don't want to speak. You say I gotta lose 100, or you just change some things and you lost 100. How do you think that worked for you?
Well, I have a quote that I always follow by. It's the Rocky quote. It states, "You and me or nobody's gonna get hit as hard as life, but it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit, keep moving forward, and how much you can take and keep moving forward."
Yeah.
I don't consider it as a quote. I consider it as facts, because if you really think about it, life is going to hit you hard.
Can you guys hear me? Because I know I was having trouble again. Listen, what I did, Mr. Bennett, what I did was kind of simple, and I know there's tools for this, but I actually started writing. I actually put a spreadsheet that I use on my computer on what I eat every day,
engineer,
and what I drink, and I just physically put the calories and shit in there, and I've been doing that for like, I don't know. I really started in earnest in August. The other time I just started eating less, but I wanted to start to measure that. And I know there's like a Fitbit and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be that easy. I wanted it to actually have something I could chronicle and type it in and do all that. So I did that on purpose.
Right.
And so every day I still do that. So every day I just take a measure of exactly what I eat every day and how many calories is in there and all of that stuff. And it's just like a habit now.
Right. But I'm saying, but you didn't.
And I'll do that until I can upgrade with the watches and all that kind of stuff. But I purposely didn't do that.
Right.
I just wanted to sit, so if I'm sitting down, I want to say, okay, you know what? For dinner today, I just had a vegetable plate. And Sundays I would have a meal that I would cook or whatever. But I can't even eat like I used to. So, I mean, I'm at the point now. I mean, I couldn't at one point I could throw down a whole pizza.
Yeah.
2 slices will get me.
Yeah. But you didn't set out to say.
I'm saying, man, that's it. Not no third one and all that. So
right.
I can't go down like I used to, and which is a good thing. So I try to just my water jug here.
Yeah.
Every day is full, and every time I go to bed.
Hang on one second. Can you hear Paul?
Oh, he might not be able to hear me.
No, I can hear him, but I don't know if he can hear me.
Do I have to come out and come back in?
It sounds like it.
All right.
Well, if you just want to ask him, Pete, I mean, I don't.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, but did he actually set a goal to lose 100 pounds?
Now, Paul is asking, did you set a goal for 100 pounds to lose?
Well, I still got more.
What's your goal?
I was going to come back in. You know what I do? I'm trying to lose X's. I'm not even losing pounds. I'm trying to lose X's on the sides. You know how you got like 5, 6X,
5X, 4X, 3X.
I'm trying to lose X's, So that's the deal with me, man.
Hey, if it works, it works, right?
I'm just trying to get back. I'm trying to get down to L, to large, with no X in front of the goddamn thing. That's the goal.
Man, I used to be a medium at one time.
Well, so let me come out and come back in so he can hear me, because I can't hear Paul.
Okay.
Mr. Bennett.
Go ahead. So we having difficulties on Chef's side today. What the hell's going on with his computer? Sheesh. I think he needs to get an upgrade. I know he likes the old antiques. but some upgrade that damn thing. The dinosaur he has. So I wonder if he's using Windows 97.
Oh man, don't do that.
All right, let me get him back in here. Listen, I'm cheap. I can, you know, if you guys heard him back, he was saying, "Why can't I use StreamYard?" Like, I am fucking cheap. This is free. I'm not making money off this. If you guys want me to get StreamYard, okay, support the channel. The Snapchat's in the below. There we go.
Is StreamYard more expensive than what you're using here? I mean,
This is free. I don't pay nothing for this.
No wonder.
Yeah. What is it? I believe StreamYard is like $500 a year or some shit like that.
No, it depends on what. It depends on. I think it depends.
Yeah, I thought it depends on how many people like you want. Like if you want to have up to 10 people, that's a certain price. But if you want like maybe 5 or whatever, I think there's tiers to it.
There's tiers to it. Yeah. Exactly. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know if you heard me, Mr. Ben.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I could hear you the whole time. You just couldn't hear me. But yeah, but the main thing I was trying. But you didn't say. Just getting back to Grumman's point about goals. You didn't say, okay, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds. Like I don't know if that was necessarily your motive, But again, you said you put a plan together, you put a process that you tracked and monitored, and the 100 pounds that was like that kind of came with the consistency that you put together. And that's all I'm saying about just goal setting in general. Like I said, I was very much like I had to have something done by a certain time and that sort of thing. And like I said, I just right now I just try to develop just good habits and just stay consistent with it. And the goals just kind of, just manifest from that.
That's what I wanted to do, Like I didn't really, I'm not, I never said to myself I'm on a diet because I don't have any cravings for any particular food because I do still eat,
Yeah.
I just changed what I was eating, and I just started to get more satisfied with it. Now my birthday's in May, and I want to have another 20 pounds off, but that's something really doable from where I'm at. So it's not like these crazy goals. I'm not trying to use some inordinate amount of weight in a small period of time. And I weigh myself maybe at most twice a week, sometimes less than that. So and a couple of times I said, "Oh man, you had a little setback here and there, but it's never. It's always the slope is always down."
Yeah.
I do get where Paul is coming from the goals, and maybe my way of thinking things, tasks, a little different than his. But hey, it works for him. It works for me.
I think tasks generally are better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you have a routine. You have a way. You break things down into daily things that just that you can stay consistent with. The goals can be like way out there in the ether, and there's so many variables that you may or may not be able to control, but you can control your tasks every day. And again, having the responsibilities, you have to walk your dog, you got to take care of your mom, you got to go to work, you have to go to the gym, you have to do. So again, I think that's people, and all those things are positive things. Think about the people who are doing negative things, drinking or on drugs or playing video games all day or something, something else. I mean, there's good habits and there's bad habits. And I think that just having daily things that you do or just not have time for some of that stuff. I'm not saying you don't let off some steam, every now and then. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. You should have your pleasures, but again, nothing should be so dominant in your life that, the things that need to get done. And so I think people are happiest, I think, when they have, that's part of, your reason to get up every day. You have loved ones to take care of. You have responsibilities. And I think that's really where men I need to focus on. But, this idea of just dreaming, like everyone, like there was a thing, like everybody wants to be a millionaire. And everybody was trying to find a quick way to find quick money in some venture or something like that. And I think a lot of that was a waste of, I wouldn't say a waste of time, but in the pursuit of chasing that, that very rare thing, I don't know if a lot of guys didn't get better from that. Or you're trying to do something because someone else is doing it, so I need to do that also. But you never figured out who are you, what are your skill sets, what can you bring to the table that's unique to you that you can do? What are you passionate about, and can you find a way to make that work for you rather than seeing because this person did it, okay, I need to do that also. So I think part of that, again, that self-assessment, who am I as a man, who am I as a person, what can I do? I think guys need to spend a lot more time with that more so than chasing whatever the latest trend is, or trying to be like someone else.
That's the key word, trend. We need to stop chasing trends and chase what you want, if that makes sense. So, for example, if the new trend is YouTube, for example, I hear it all the time. Oh, I can do it. I can make this video. Please do. Everybody wants to get on the YouTube and all this stuff, but they never actually go through with it and do the work. There's a lot of work behind this. Payne knows as well as I do how much hours we have to put through this, how many hours we have to sacrifice. I'm using this as an example, of course, but it's time and effort that I'm willing to give. But what are you willing to give in time? Because time you can't get back. It's one of the few things in life. It's one of those things that time is valuable, but you can't get it back. Trey, what's going on, my man?
Up all the time. I'm late. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you nice and clear.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just listening in, man. Go ahead, keep going, man.
Yeah.
It's man talk.
So, this is why motivation is... I think motivation is very important. Even if you haven't watched a motivation video. This is why I do my Motivation Mondays. I might say one thing that could put fire up someone's ass. Like a good example, you just gave me a great idea, Paul. Like, how do we turn a bad habit into a good habit? How do we motivate a bad habit into a good habit?
Yeah, I think you just fill the time. Everyone's got 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's oftentimes the bad habits come when you don't have a good habit that's taking its place. So again, it gets back to purpose again. I mean, if you make yourself like, I'm too busy to be, I can't be, like, there's a lot of things out there that are fun, but I got to tell people, it's like, I've never been a person, I've never been like all in on everything. Like, we talk about, like on your Saturday show, talking about like fandom. Yeah, like I love talking about comic books.
Of course.
And sci-fi movies and Star Wars. I love all that, And when I was younger, like there were always groups that were like, we talk about there's fans and then there's like fanatics. I was never a fanatic. You know what I mean? Like I can talk about almost anything for an hour. Like you want to chop it up about Marvel versus DC, we can talk about that for an hour. You got people who can talk about that all day. I'm like, I don't have time for that. Like, I'll give you an hour. Nice talking to you. I'll see you next week, and that's the end of it. You know what I mean? Because again, my goals or my motivation was primarily in certain areas. Yeah, I love shooting off some steam, but then it's like people find it's like, oh, it's cool. He's into that stuff too. Yeah, let's It's like I'm looking. It's like, man, it's like 3 hours. Back in high school, they used to not in college. They got into like the gaming, like the role gaming, like not like Dungeons and Dragons or Champions and stuff like that. And I would go to a couple of the events, and it was fun. I saw what they were doing and everything. But it's like, okay, I've been here for a couple hours. I think I need to leave. And it's like they're looking at you because them, like the one times I did it, it's like you start at 2, you play till midnight, you go out to a diner afterwards, it's 2, 3 in the morning before you settle down. It's like, y'all do this every week? I'm like, don't y'all want to go out, meet girls? Don't y'all want to go to the movies? Don't y'all want to, something up? But you could get so preoccupied with pastime that you just don't allow for important things, because again, you're not weighing, I think, your time or your your value enough. So I don't, again, like I said, but I totally agree. Everybody needs a pastime. Everybody needs something to let off steam with. But if you let that thing down, get in the way of what your priorities are, then I think that's a little mismatch. At least it was to me. But I found myself in a lot of situations like that, even like sports. I can play basketball. I can play full court, on the court, 5-on-5. I could play for maybe an hour or two. But you there from especially in the summertime, you there from 5 until 9 o'clock. I'm like, I gotta go. We about to be on the winning streak. Paul, we were winning. I gotta go. It's like I got stuff. I gotta do some things. So again, I can't let that be or bowling, bowling league every week or whatever. I there's just not something I just felt that I can just devote myself to that because again, I had other things. I got what, so as you get a wife and kids, that'll definitely shrink down your availability for certain things. And I'm not sore at that because that's what I signed up for. And so, and also you have to understand the seasons. Now I'm getting to a point where my youngest is 20. She'll be 21 in May. And now my wife and I, we're kind of seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. We're like, okay, we can travel a little bit more now. We can start, getting back more into us. But there was a time when we had to devote to the raising of the kids.
Yep.
But now we're kind of getting that time back. So really, a lot of this is about your priorities. What's your big rocks versus your little rocks, and making sure that the big stuff gets done first, and then everything else is around those.
Chef, what do you think? You're up.
Oh, you talking to me?
Yes. The only person I call chef on the channel is you.
I had a cough drop in. I mean, I think we said everything that needs to be said. I don't have anything new except that, if we talk about priorities in life, is there a different question you ask? Because
I want to know, how would you take a bad habit? Like, you assume you have into a good habit. How you would motivate yourself to turn it bad into good?
Well, I mean, my bad habit was not exercising enough. Excuse me. So I think I'm still on the road to fixing that, but I'm up to at least three good days a week. With my diet plan, I'm trying to get to where I can do some more, and I'm never I try not to get too strenuous with it, but I feel much better as just going through the process than I used to. I mean, at one point, man, just walking up and down the stairs was like, oh shit, because we have in our house, we got 15 stairs to come up the steps to the bedrooms and stuff. Yeah. And at one point, we used to talk about those 15 steps like they were like we were in some kind of mansion or some shit like that. You gotta come instead of going downstairs and come on up here. We call each other instead of walking to each other in the house. So I mean, all that's different now, man. I'm much more, I move around a lot better, man. It's amazing when they tell you about the weight and how much it make more all the problems you have. My doctor was telling me this thing, all the issues you have. He said, if you lose that weight, man, you probably won't even have to see me. A lot of people don't even want to listen to the doctors like that. So I think it's connected to almost everything that almost ails you until because your body's so resilient. I mean, it's resilient like crazy. It has like a muscle memory. So, and I realized that. So once you start to do the right things, your body is, you never really get back to where you were before if you really neglected it, but you can see it coming back in spurts. And it depends on how hard you work. So those were my real bad habits. I mean, overeating habits. At some point when you get so fat, you don't even have to overeat to stay fat. If you ever get so big, you don't have to overeat to stay fat. You could just eat a regular meal and that's it. So it's almost like
your metabolism slows down.
Yeah. So So I mean, other than that, in terms of personal things and stuff like that I might have issue with, I don't know. What's my bad habit? Maybe cursing is too. Maybe cursing is another one. I gotta get better at that one.
Fuck
The
that.
one person I don't
Something just
curse
dropped.
around and I don't curse at is my
Peter,
wife.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I
Can
hear you
everybody hear?
now. I hear you.
Yeah,
Can you hear me? You can't
I
hear
can.
me.
Paul, can you hear Payne?
Nah. See, yeah, something happens. So just to land it here. I mean, the one thing I need to do is I'm trying to do better with the cursing, man. So
You're in the wrong fucking channel then.
Better stay off the panels. I
Steve,
think,
you're up,
man.
man.
You won't do
I
it.
gotta stay off the panels, man.
Yeah, you gotta stay
You know
off the
what
panels, bro.
I'm saying?
Go ahead, Steve. You're up. Your turn.
But I got the one person that really matters. I can't curse at my wife.
You'll be in trouble.
But not only that, man. She don't deserve it. Plus, she shuts down, so I can't win any arguments. If I drop an F-bomb, I lose automatically. So
And she can chop
I
something
make
off
sure
too.
I don't do it. Huh?
She can chop something
Nah,
off.
not that. Even if I'm right, if I drop an F-bomb, I lose. So I learned that early on.
So Paul is staying really fast in the chat. Sorry, he had a drop, but I need to run
need to
anyway.
run anyway,
I will. Great night. I will see you on these YouTube streets. Paul, thank you for coming. I will hit you up tomorrow. Actually, we gotta talk. So Steve, you're up. What are you thinking?
I mean, I was listening, but what was the objective to talk about right
The
now?
original question was, how can you make a bad habit into a new habit, but motivate yourself to make it in a new habit?
How can you make a bad habit into a new habit?
Like, for example, I'll use Payne, for example, my guinea pig for tonight. He used a bad habit of overeating and eating like shit into start working out and eating healthy.
All right. That's a difficult question for me because I mean, a bad habit. There's a lot of bad habits. I don't know how. I mean, yeah, eating would be one, but after that, I wouldn't think turning any bad habit into a good habit is anything good for me. Smoking, drinking, so many things, drugs. There's a lot of bad habits. I mean, how can you turn a bad habit into a good habit? That would be one, is the weight issue, but I that's a difficult question for me, unfortunately.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Everybody has their difficult ones. Trey, you're up. What are you thinking?
I'm gonna be like everybody
You're on
else.
mute. You're on mute, dude.
I'm still on mute. I'm
No,
not
I
on
can
mute.
hear.
You can hear him?
I can hear him
hear
too. I can hear him.
What the hell's going on with this thing
Can you hear me?
streaming today? Hang on, I know how to fix that, right? Hang on 1 second. I'll reload this damn thing again. All right, go ahead, now, Trey.
Is that better? Can you hear
Now
me
I
now?
can hear you.
All right.
You know what I
listen.
think it is? It's raining really bad. The weather's acting up here, so I think that's the part of my problem.
Okay, so ask the question again. But you
How do
changed it up the second time you asked it. You changed it up.
I did it. It's pretty a similar thing I'm asking. Bad habit into the good habit. How can you use that to motivate yourself into a new habit? I use me for example. I used to be a heavy smoker and heavy vapor. What motivated me to quit that is the job I have now is nicotine free. So you had to, when you get drug test, you have to be zero nicotine. So that's my motivation. I'm 6 months free of smoking now, and I continue, and that's the motivation I needed. So give me your examples or your ideas. Give me your thoughts.
Most of mine started when I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Just hanging around friends, starting to pick up bad habits. One of the things that I found out early, and I'm glad that I couldn't even handle it just physically, was drinking alcohol. My father was an alcoholic. I saw him get drunk every weekend, but he worked every day. So, but on the weekend he would struggle. So as I got into my teenage years, you know, I was, you know, drinking a little beer, trying a little stuff, but I couldn't handle it. My stomach couldn't handle it. Couldn't even handle it. So I got away from that. You know, I just started diving more into playing the sports I was playing. Stopped hanging around the same type of guys, and like as I grew older, like I never smoked cigarettes. I tried it one time, like now I was 8 years old. I turned green. So that
Smart
experience
man.
deterred me from even wanting to ever smoke. And seeing my father with his issue made me not want to drink. Although I did, but now shit, I buy six I get a 6 pack. It might take a year and a half or two to finish it. Unless some friends come over, then I let them do it. But I sort of just, you know, and as a grown man, it's like I can't. Well, I tell you what's a bad habit, and I don't think I try to break it, but that shit be calling me. I love trail mix. I love chocolate covered clusters and cashews and shit. And I'll be trying to get away from it, man. But I'll be telling myself don't buy none. Then I go down that aisle in the store. Next thing you know, I got a bag. So, you know, I want to get back. I got a Peloton bike and rowing machine. I'm gonna start getting back into that, man, because you know they're talking about giving me back surgery and shit, and I can't be 30, 40 pounds overweight trying to have back surgery because that shit takes a lot out of you. I had it when I was 25, and it took a lot out of me then, and now I'm fucking 30 years past that. So I don't know. I just gotta cut back, man. It's just hard though, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Sugar is the worst drug out there, man.
It is.
They say sugar is harder to quit than cocaine.
Well, that's why they stopped calling it sugar diabetes because the sugar lobby made them. They started to change the narrative because it used to be sugar diabetes when you were younger, and they took the sugar off of it.
Just get your ass diabetes. Make it sound bad now.
Well, no, but you know, but the sugar lobby made sure that they changed the narrative and dropped that name because I remember back when I was young, that's all they called it, sugar diabetes.
Yep, that's what it was. I think. I guess they didn't like that brand and that image. They was trying to uphold their image.
Because they didn't want everybody to understand that they weren't killing everybody.
Yeah,
that's why Warren Buffett owns half the sugary drinks because he knows it's a drug.
Oh yeah.
So
he's just making profit off everybody. You know, I mean, you see these soft drinks and they're all 50 grams of sugar or 60 grams of sugar, and
the Big Gulp.
Always water my shit down.
The Big Gulp from 7-Eleven Big Gulp. That like 2 years old drinking like 64 ounces of sugar water, man. So, yeah. Well, like I said, we're all under the commercialism of the society, man, and it's about money, man. You follow the money, you could almost tell why we're in the position we're in today.
And that's a thing. Like, think about it. We knew sugar is bad for us, but we continue consuming it. But most men don't have the willpower, motivation, or whatever you want to call it, to stop. Okay, for example, let's say this is a Coke, for example. My father was addicted to Coke. Every day he would drink 3 or 4 of them. 3 of them. Guess what happened to him? He's diabetic. And he was drinking diet.
Well, that's not good for you either.
Yeah, that's worse for you, actually, they say.
Yeah.
If you're going to drink 3 diet, you better drink 1 regular and call it a day. But when diet first came out, nobody knew to say this stuff. That's the thing. And that's what my next question, accountability. How do we keep ourselves accountable for everyday things? Motivation, go to work, whatever. How do we paint? You're 5 years old or whatever you are. Accountability.
Fucking guy.
Hang on a second. Before you answer that question.
How old are you, Payne?
Oh, I'm 65.
65. Okay, same age as my mom.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody understand, me and Payne, we know each other from another channel. We met. We're decent friends, I will say. Right, Payne?
No, that's all right, man. It's cool.
No, but my point is, like, me joking around with his age is just kidding around. So don't anybody take it too serious. I'm not
Yeah,
trying to abuse the elderly.
yeah. Well, yeah. So you say. Anyway, but the bottom line is you know what, man. I don't know about accountability. I mean, we all it's you get if you're on some kind of if you got some kind of goal or you got some kind of direction you're moving into and you're not doing the things you need to do or you procrastinate a lot, you could tell that you still have some modicum of accountability because you'll feel guilty for not doing the shit you're supposed to do. Like if the day passes and you know you were supposed to do something and you didn't do it, once that feeling of guilt stops because you didn't do what you expected to do, then that's when you're starting to lose your grip, right? Because because you're not moving in the direction you say you want to go in, the more you leave things down. So for me, it's just like a daisy chain of self accountability based on the fact the way it makes me feel to not do the shit I know I need to do. And I think that was part of being going to work. When I used to, because when I had to go to work, I was working for 38 years. So you're always on some kind of deadline. You always have to do something. Now you're not doing it for the family, but it puts you in a mindset that you got to get shit done. So that kind of permeates everything. The thing I let down was the exercise. But taking care of the bills, taking care of the family, taking this, that, you had to travel a lot. I had to do a lot of that stuff. So I didn't have a lot of. I think I was always accountable just because of the nature of the way I was living. The only thing I wasn't accountable for was keeping my weight down. And it bothered me. Fortunate for me, it didn't stop me from getting promoted, but I think it stopped me from getting certain jobs.
And that's sad because you knew
Huh?
that's could have been you could have been a different person if you caught on the weight problem
Yeah,
sooner.
yeah. So I mean, but I didn't beat myself. I didn't beat myself up over it. I just accepted the reality and just moved on. And so now, man, once I retired, I said, man, I got to get that shit together. So I was out since 2020, and my time is my own, and all I could think about is doing something useful with those 50 hours a week I got back.
Yeah.
You know.
Steve, what do you think?
You always got to keep moving. You always got to keep forward. You always got to keep doing something. I feel like as a man, once we stop, that's where we deteriorate. I have a best friend whose father owns a landscaping company, and he's been doing it forever. He's been doing it since he was 20-something years old, and he has a company, and he works faster than some of the young guys. And if he ever stops, which he won't, because that's all he knows, if he ever stops, he's going to be dead.
That's true.
It becomes like you say, it becomes a habit, but it's also becomes your life. Like you need to work, you need to move forward, you need to. It doesn't become like he's 75, and it doesn't become about the money. It's not about his grandkids living a good life. They have a good life. He has a company. It's a multi-million-dollar landscaping company, but it's about him just keep moving. Once he stops, what is he going to do? He's going to retire and just lay around and do nothing? He's not that type of guy. We all, I mean, some of us are a little bit lazier than others, but this man, he's a hard worker. And if he ever stops and retires, some people can retire and some people can't.
Well, you know what?
So,
Can I add something to what you just said, though, if you don't mind?
yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
that's one of the things I tell people when I was working. It took me 2 years to retire because you think about it first before you actually make the commitment. But I run into so many people my age when they were working. They said, "Well, if I retire, I won't know what to do." And I used to, in the conversation I would have with them, I said, "Listen, you got to find something that will motivate you because the fact that you've been working here for 35, 40 years and you don't know what you're going to do with your life if you're not here, I think that's sad. I think and not if you have your own business, because that's something that your blood, sweat, and tears is in, but an actual job, you're working for somebody else. I said, if you don't have anything that you could define your life by, as opposed to just a 9 to 5, I said, that's not a healthy thing either. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody, go
Yeah,
ahead, yeah.
I got that. Yeah. But some people enjoy. It could be anything. It could be maybe they don't own a landscaping company. It could be anything. But if they enjoy it and they can't see themselves doing anything, I mean, yeah, people get older. I'm an well, I'm just going to school to be an electrician. I'm in my second career.
Okay.
I worked for IBM. I worked for computers for 13 years. After COVID, I had to find something else. I got into construction. I always wanted to be in the union,
Okay.
and I'm trying to get into the union. I'm 45 years old. I'm not like a 18-year-old, 20-something-year-old that can keep bending. I have back issues, knee issues. I played a lot of sports back in the day.
Mhm.
How long am I going to do that for? I'm going to do that for 20 years until I get, a pension, a good pension, 401k, all that stuff. But I enjoy it. I can't see myself really doing anything else after that. I mean, maybe, but,
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, I agree with you. See, it's like no wrong answer. I mean, I like what I did too, but I just said, you know what? It's time to put that down and try to do something else.
yeah,
But that's just me. But only thing I'm saying, whatever your job, even if you love it, if you know you can't do it, I mean, some people could die in office, But I just think that you should have a work-life balance a little bit. And I know what it is to be out of balance because I got my health that was out of balance. But I always had the financial and the family part and my work part. I always try to have like some kind of real balance with that.
of course.
But everybody's different. I agree with that. But I just tell you, if the inevitable for most of us is that we're going to retire someday, and I just tell people to be prepared for that and have something, if you can, and use the 2 or 3 years while you're working to figure out something that you like to do. Put that on your list. It don't have to have a immediate answer. You could work on something. Shit, you know what? If I was retired and I had this 40 hours back, I do X, I do Y, I do this. You can start to dream about it before you leave the job.
Right. I have I told you guys I have a 65-year-old mother that I take care of. She's been through the ringer. She has health issues, and she retired. She was kind of forced to retire she's divorced, newly divorced
Mhm.
about the last year, and she really didn't have anything to do. She thought she was going to be sitting around, cleaning the house, and now she doesn't have anything to do, and I feel horrible for her. But she didn't really have an escape to go do something else. And I always try to tell her every day to motivate her, Mom, you got to get up and, even if it's you want to clean the house, but you got to get up, go out, take a drive out, go do something. Like you got to get up and do something, or you can't just lay around and like wither away and die and do nothing. Because that's not healthy either.
No.
It's not,
I agree.
man or woman. It's not healthy at all to do nothing. She basically does all her chores. She wakes up at the same time she always woke up, which is 4 o'clock in the morning, and does what she's got to do. Clean up here, clean up there. I mean, the house is spotless. What more can you do? And then after that, it's going to doctor's appointments, or me taking her to doctor's appointments, and me taking her or getting her medication and whatnot. And then the other time is, I'm not a big proponent on medication, but she is. She feels like it makes you better. But to me, I've never taken a medication. I'm not one for medication. I'm not one to take any, even like Tylenol. I'll take Tylenol when I have a migraine, but that's very frequent. But you got to have something to do. You definitely, like you said, you got to definitely plan. If you're looking to retire or get your second wind, you got to really have something to do and find something that you enjoy to do.
Yep, I agree.
Trey, what's your opinion?
Well, I am retired as
That's what I
of
said.
June of 2022. And I can tell you, I got plenty of shit to do. And not, but the thing about it is, I'm a hands-on guy. I heard my brother mention that getting into construction. That was my skill set coming out of the military. I knew I didn't want to do it as a career because I had back surgery in the military and ended up having right knee surgery. So I had some things coming out of the military that would have prevented me from making a career out of it. But I used the military resources, went back to school, got me a degree at Mississippi State in 2001. But the benefit of having those skill sets is now that I'm retired from working, I can now do all of the projects that I thought about and went over 2 or 3 times in my head. You know, I'm in Home Depot a lot. I'm going to different. I'm in. I don't know if y'all have a Menards, but I go between Home Depot, Menards, and Lowe's. I want to see who has the biggest deal. They are both give military, but it always keeps me acute on my hand-eye coordination, my ability to read, and being able to comprehend, remember. But you know, they talking about giving me another back surgery, so I'm gonna have to try to find the motivation to get myself back in some kind of shape so I can deal with that type of injury. Well, just surgery, but I don't know, man. Men are, to me, I don't think we do enough outside of work when we're younger. I don't think we have those hobbies where we can climb the fucking mountain or swim a fucking mile across the ocean or, you know, just building tree houses and anything to make us feel like a man. Because once you learn how to do stuff for yourself, that shit feel good as hell.
Hell yeah.
You know, even in YouTube, as you start understanding how to navigate YouTube, our pain, I see you even in YouTube. Like you said, you got work on your cussing. You on panels now, like, man, what the fuck is going on, man? What are y'all doing? Because you still have that fight. And that's the thing about it. When we get to a certain age, we ain't gonna back down from no fucking fight. And you ain't gonna keep pointing your finger in our face. And that's just my father. He just passed this January. He was 80 years old. He retired when he was 60 from Louisville Slugger. It's called Hildreth and Bradsby. He worked there 35 years. From the day I can remember, that's where he worked. He invented machines in the building. Because if you go there now, it's more like a museum, but it's only about 10 people working in the whole thing, making all the bats. He invented machines. And one thing I used to be mad at him about, like, you fucking never told me. You should have told me about that shit. You know what I'm saying? But he was a humble guy. He taught me hard work. And he worked up until he turned 80 in June. He worked up until September. And then his sickness, you know, he worked himself sick, back to sickness because he had a stroke. He got over that. He had 8 heart attacks. He got over all of them. And he had he had cancer. He got over that. But he stressed and did so, and he didn't have to work. But he, like you said, he needed something to do. Because my mom been gone since 2003. And my father was always a strong guy, strong-willed, very stubborn, wanted to do shit his own way, but he did shit. You know, and I was proud of that, just seeing him. And that's where I am now, and I got to do something. I can't, like, I went to Chicago Monday, was on the road, came back today, and I worked while I was in Chicago. You know, so I just feel like I got to do something just so I can keep my sanity, you know, so it's important for us, man.
See, you can always keep yourself busy. Like, I was a victim of this, and I still am sometimes. I work a lot of hours. I'm a chef. I work 20, 30, 40 hours in a week. Overtime, I'm talking about, of course. I'm not talking about 40 hours, 4 hours plus 20, 30, and so on. So today I worked about 15 hours. but I can make time to make a new habit, a new hobby. Right behind me is model kits. I'm thinking to myself, oh, man, I can't believe. I'm really want to get back into model. I used to get passionate as a kid. I'll go, am I doing it? Really? Am I going to fucking do this? Like, am I going to actually start doing models again at 38? It doesn't take a day or two, but it's going to take weeks. But it's sitting right there. God help me. But I have a buddy of mine. He's Greek, 100% like me. And his father is a workhorse. At 78 years old, the guy doesn't stop. He's carrying wood on his shoulder. He's painting. He's doing this. He's in construction. I'm looking at him like, how the hell is he going like that? But he won't stop. He's come every day. He comes like, I'm tired. But he keeps doing it every day. 8, 9 o'clock, he's already in bed. I can credit the guy. He works his ass off. I don't know about you guys, but I want to be 80 years old like that. And he's in great shape too, by the way. Being in great shape, working my ass off still, and don't give a shit. I don't know about you guys. What do you think?
Absolutely. I feel like I'm going to be like, I don't want to really stay idle. You know, it's one thing to stay idle. I don't want to stay idle. I want to keep moving. Whether if it's I get married, have kids, and I want to build my own house. I just want to keep moving. It doesn't really have to do with money. It just has to do with, like you said, motivation. I just want to be motivated to keep moving, keep living, keep doing what I got to do. Of course, I want to have fun, but, you know, priorities change. I got a mother to take care of. She took care of me for so long. And, you know, I don't have brothers. I don't have sisters. So it's more difficult, but it's just motivation just to make sure she has what she has. She's comfortable. And for me, it's just about keep moving. I just got to keep my mind moving. And once I go to bed, and that's it. And the next day, I keep working. I feel like I'm going to work till like I'm 90. And if that's what I want to do, that's what I want to do. I can't just sit. You know, some people could go on vacations for like 2 weeks. I can't do that. I tried that. I can't do that. I want to go home after the third day.
And everybody's a little different. Like, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind a mini vacation for 3 days. Payne, you're next. You're on mute again, or can't hear anything. What the hell is going on? Let me reload this. Hang on.
There you go.
This thing is
Yes,
really
I got it. I had my thing on mute.
I hope I get. Let me cut you off for a second. I hope I get invited back again. I need to go. But this was definitely enjoyable.
Give me in the bottom of the chat. Right, give me your email.
Okay, I will.
Or your phone.
All right,
Either
man.
one's fine.
Take it easy.
It was nice meeting all you guys. You guys are great.
Yep. I'll have you on
We'll talk.
Wednesdays are good for
See
you?
you later, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I have to get ready to go to grooming.
Yeah, we're finishing up right now, guys.
But the thing I was going to tell you though is that I like doing puzzles. You know, 1,000-piece, 2,000-piece puzzles. I used to do a lot more.
Nice. So, Steve, I'm going to email you in a few minutes. Trey, finish up. Let's cut, and we'll do final thoughts, and we're out of here, guys.
Okay.
I mean, nah, man, I just think it's important for men, man, you know, especially in your younger years, make sure you stay, you know, get a lot of physical activities, at least 3 to 5 days, 6 days if you can. Because when you get 50, when you start turning 50, you don't have no 8 packs. You're going to get a pack. It's going to be one big ass pack. Because you got to get home. You got to take your shoes off because your fucking feet are hurting. You got to lay down. You got to sit down. You don't have the energy to be out to wee hours of the morning. You know, when you get older, it's a time to start reflecting and continue to build and grow. Focus on a different mindset to make things better for yourself. your family, including your grandchildren, your badass grandchildren. So it's definitely important, man, to move, show those that are beneath you how to move accordingly, how to develop a work ethic. Don't give shit to them free, make them work for that shit, and they'll be better men than we are. So that's all I got, man.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
always a
Payne.
pleasure, bro.
You go first. Or your final thoughts, Steve. You're next. Trey, and I'll finish. I'll close it out.
Yeah, man. I final thoughts, man. Thanks for letting me up, man. Nice meeting everybody. Nice seeing you. What you said, Steve, right?
Yeah.
So listen, it's cool, man. That's a good little conversation. It's good to talk about certain things about, how you view life in certain aspects. I mean, we can go on about like this different aspects of your life all day long, but being able to have a plan and execute the plan, be accountable for your actions and family life balance, all that kind of stuff. It's good conversation. So I appreciate being up.
Go ahead,
I'm
Steve.
getting
Finish up.
tired too anyway, man. I'm gonna hit the head, but and I hit the head, hit the bed. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, man.
Payne, thank you
I'm
for coming
done.
again. Go ahead, Steve. Finish your last
You
thoughts.
said it right out, man.
No, blessings to all. It was great to meet all of you. We just got to, like I said, keep moving forward and do what makes you happy. Keep busy. Keep saving that money. Keep enjoying your family, enjoying your time, and eventually it's all gonna end. So might as well try to have fun and whatever fun to you is, and hopefully everybody gets what they want out of life.
Nice. Trey.
Okay. All right.
I
It's your
mean, I
turn,
feel the
Tony.
same way as everybody else, man. It's really important, right? Especially these time and day, man, to start focusing on self care a little bit more. Steve, I don't know if you got your prostate checked. Go get that shit checked.
yeah,
You need
yeah,
a check.
I got that checked, and I got my colon checked too. So
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
it's the time, man. So we just got to be more focused on our health so we can be around longer, man, for our grandkids and shit. So I'm ready to feed some grandkids some whole bunch of sugar products. Yeah. So they can go home and just be what? Nah, that ain't what I do. But I hope to see more young people get old like me and our pain. Cause we ain't fucking old. We just older. And our
Yeah.
pain got me by almost shit. What you 65 our pain?
Yep.
See, I just turned 56. So you know what I'm saying? So hey man, it's always a blessing to get to these ages now, man. Shit ain't as playful as it used to be. It's a lot more serious. So if we can make it for another 25, man, shit, salute. Do that shit. For real. Let's do it, man. That's what it's about, man.
absolutely.
So, motivation. Find ways to motivate you, whatever it is, from your mother to your dog to your kids, your grandkids, whatever, and find what you love to do. Payne loves being on YouTube. I'm getting into modeling again at my age. I'm working out. I enjoy this stuff. Anything that works for you, do it. But don't stop moving. That is the key. Till next time, guys. We are Grooming Reviews 101. I am Ghost of Sparta, signing out. See you guys next time. Take care of yourselves and always stay fresh.